Alright, today we're going to be making a video on the settings on the Power MIG 350 MP MIG welders. When you look at the main panel on the 350 MP, you see all these different numbers and all these different features that you can adjust over here. So I'm going to walk you through that and what each of them does. So the first one, where the red dot is right now, is on weld mode. That's basically the program for the weld that you're going to run. So how do you know what program to be on? Well, over here you have the electrode, and it says, what kind of material are you going to weld? Are you going to weld steel, stainless, aluminum? Do you just want to run a regular MIG weld, a flux cord weld? These machines will also do stick and TIG if you have the right equipment. So you just got to figure out what you want to do. So let's say we want to run steel MIG. So we're right here on gas metal arc welding, and our gas is going to be an argon mix. Okay, so I'm at the argon mix column right here, and then I know my wire diameter is 0.35, so I just bring everything together and it says program 11. So if I switch this up to program 11, whenever I make any adjustments on my amperage it's going to always be dialed in for me, pretty close. Alright, so we're on program 11 right now, so if I adjust my wire feed speed, notice my voltage also adjusts for me. So the machine is pretty well always dialed in. I can still adjust my voltage independently of my wire feed speed, so I can fine tune it a little bit. But if I just stick with this knob here, it's always going to be dialed in for me. That's a nice feature. It kind of eliminates the guesswork of where do I set the machine. Because these machines here can be a little bit more difficult to set because the wire feed speed is in inches per minute instead of just 10, 20, 30, 40, so on and so forth. If I go down to program number 5, that's just a regular MIG weld. So when I adjust my wire feed speed, it doesn't automatically adjust my voltage for me. So you can really fine tune this one, dial it right in for exactly what you want. So it just runs like a regular MIG welder. So let's go back to program 11. Alright, so we're on weld mode 11. We already know what that does for us. If I push the selector switch down, it says pre-flow, and it's on 0.2. So what that means is when I pull the trigger on the gun, gas is going to come out for 0.2 seconds to kind of purge out the gas nozzle, purge out the weld zone so there's no contaminants present. If I push it down again, I come to the post-flow feature. When I let go of the gun trigger, gas is going to continue to flow out for a half a second just to kind of protect the weld after we're done, let it solidify. If I push the switch down again, I hit run in. I really don't use it for steel, to be honest with you. What it does is it shoots the wire out at a reduced wire feed speed until the arc is established. Then it will go to your set wire feed speed. Commonly used with aluminum. Really don't use it with steel. I don't anyway. Start off control. Okay, the next one that we're going to worry about is crater. This is the crater fill function. We can adjust how long we want the crater fill to occur for. What it does is when we let go of the gun trigger, the wire is going to keep coming out and keep welding at a reduced amperage to fill in the crater at the end of the weld. Craters can be a real problem with welding. They can lead to cracks and other discontinuities, so normally you'll use the crater fill feature if you can. Burn back 0.02. This feature here just keeps the wire from burning back to the tip, so when you let go of the trigger, the wire is just going to spit out a little bit more so it doesn't burn back to the tip. And then the spot weld feature, you can set the spot weld to when you pull the trigger, it'll only weld for say 0.3 seconds or 0.5 seconds, and it'll stop. So that's a common problem. People will have it on spot and they don't realize it, and then they're just keep running spot welds, and it's like, what's going on? Well, check your spot weld feature here. It's probably on. Just move it to the off position. So when you're all done adjusting these features, just go back up to your weld mode and you're ready to rock and roll.